So this is where we stand for a fire drill. Spot 354. Hello and welcome to the Daily Think Share. My name's Zach. I'm here to bring to you what I've been thinking about, sharing about, talking about that I don't have time to teach in math class. If you're new to the channel, I invite you to subscribe. So right now I'm out here. I'm at the parking spot that we go to. It's our rallying point if we have a fire drill. And I was thinking, this really reminded me, so I hadn't visited yet in its first week of school, and these are some of the things that we need to test out. Fire drills, and other kinds of emergency procedures we got to think about ahead of time and practice. Even things like how to pass out papers or how to pass out books has been very useful for me in the past. So one of the things this all reminds me of is Tim Ferriss. One of the things he said was that one of his fears in life was being poor. He's pretty wealthy. He has multiple best-selling books. He has a very well-known podcast, and he said he practices Stoicism. And one of the things that he learned from Stoicism and letters from Seneca was practice of dressing with rough clothes and eating very little, so eating like rice and beans. And every once in a while he goes on like a week or a month diet of eating just rice and beans and having really crappy clothes. And what he's doing is rehearsing how he would live if he were poor. Rice and beans are one of the cheapest healthy diets you can have. It's about the healthiest you can get for about the cheapest. And so he rehearses what it would be like. And so the reason that he does that is so that he doesn't end up being afraid of being poor again. Or I don't know if he ever was poor, but he practices being poor so that he's not afraid of it. Same thing in football practice or in other sports practices, when you're down a certain amount of points and you want to practice something ahead of time, what are you going to do in that situation? Another thing Tim Ferriss said, that when he was practicing his TED Talk, he actually practiced it in a bunch of different, in front of a bunch of different people. He tried to do it with a smaller audience, and he did things so that he was practicing what he was afraid of. Same thing with Michael Phelps. One of the things his coaches did is, in a pretty high stakes meet, but not like Olympic high stakes meet, he actually broke his goggles so that when he was doing one of his runs, he ended up getting water in his goggles and had to deal with that. So he was trying to train him on how to deal with that before and if it were to happen in a worst case scenario like finals in the Olympics. So think about, what are some of the things that you're really afraid of that you could actually just be practicing? What are the things at home or at school or in your career or in your life that you could be practicing? Maybe it's being poor. Maybe it's being disabled in a way that is possible to happen. I don't know. Maybe it's that if you didn't have a car, maybe it's like carpooling to work, like finding out who you could carpool with. So test out those things so that you're no longer fearful of them. Hope this was useful. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it and you want more, subscribe. If you liked it, give it a like. Thank you, and stay weird.